Smell of diesel. For episode 3 of the Road to Sustainability, I'm going to be looking at EVs and hybrids as an alternative to my diesel wagon. To be honest, I actually have no problems with the smell of the diesel, gets on your hands, thing with Volkswagen emissions. Maybe I should get an electric vehicle. How far you can go on a charge, what the cost of the car is, where the power comes from, you know, what sort of increased fuel economy, a difference in the drive style, if your driving sucks like mine, do they have as much technology in them? How long does it take to actually charge the vehicle? Is an electric vehicle going to be ever as convenient? So I'm heading down to the EV Expo that's held by the ATA, Alternative Technology Association, and I'm going to check out some of the vehicles. Sorry, what was your name again?
Eleanor.
Yep. Alright, hi, I'm James. So obviously you're from Renault. What do you do at Renault?
I'm product manager for passenger electric.
Their new EVs.
That includes Zoe, our new electric vehicle, and Kangoo Zeddy as well, which is a little commercial player. So I guess, yeah, general first questions that I get. What's the range of Zoe?
Yep.
Zoe is homologated to 400 kilometers.
Yep.
And that translates to a real-world driving range of about 300 kilometers. Zoe starts at 45,000, around 45,000 retail. She's the best priced EV on the market today.
There you go. So at
and she goes the furthest.
She's been around for a while.
She's been a while for a while. This isn't a science
And Zoe's the final name, is it?
Zoe's the final name, and it's a beautiful name. She's sold over 85,000 vehicles.
So how long does something like that take to charge? I'm sure that's the question.
That's a popular
knows.
question.
Yeah.
So if you're charging at home, you're probably on single phase.
Yep.
So you'd install probably a 7 kilowatt unit,
Yep.
and it's going to take 6 to 8 hours to charge.
From dead flat?
From dead flat, which very few people.
It's not that
have
bad, really.
to.
300 k's, just come back. I mean, you're not going to do 300 k's. I imagine it's mostly city orientated. And what about the new Kangoo over there?
So that new Kangoo has a range of 200 kilometers, and so that'll be about 6 hours.
How do you think the EV market is going to go?
I think the EV market can only go upwards. It'll be a matter of time. I can't say whether it's going to go, exponential next year, year after, 5 years' time. We've seen a lot of manufacturers introducing electric vehicles into their concepts at motor shows. So there seems to be a sort of recognition that electric is the way it's going to go. It's still interesting here in Australia. It's a very new technology, and that's why the test drives here today
There's
have been
obviously
so
lots
popular.
of EVs around already. I've been to China a few times and they're just packed with EVs.
Yep, so China became the #1 market, I think, for EVs last year. Europe, they've obviously had a lot of government policies in place that have driven people to consider EVs because they're at a comparative price to the petrol engine or the diesel engine. It's just, there's a lot of, I think, information. It's a whole change of mindset when you're moving to an electric vehicle. with regards to charging, as you've already asked about.
Yeah, rather
with
than
regards
filling
to,
up.
Rather than filling up, rather than seeing a petrol station on every street corner.
Is it more fun to drive an EV, do you think?
I'd say yes. It's more dynamic.
Yeah.
Because you've got the torque from standing start. You don't have gear change lags of an automatic. It's subtle things that you don't necessarily think is wrong with the combustion engine.
Yeah.
But actually,
Until you know about
when
it.
you change, then you start to notice the difference.
What do you think is the biggest resistance to EVs
In Australia?
in general?
In general, I think it's just change.
People don't like change, right?
It's yeah, like I said, it's a change in mindset. So it's having to consider it. But what I would say is once people have got behind the wheel, they're pretty
Changed.
convinced. And every single person that has gotten out of Zoe today has had a smile on their face.
Cool. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Hi Nick, I'm James.
Nice to meet you.
So, can you tell me what this is?
This is a solar-powered car, so it's developed by the Aurora Solar Car team. We're an independent organisation who get together to design and build highly efficient electric vehicles. This one first raced in 2007 in the World Solar Challenge, which is a competition from Darwin to Adelaide, 3,000 kilometres straight through the centre of Australia. Done over several days, so you have certain hours in the day, basically the daylight hours that you're allowed to race, 4 or 5 days for the faster cars to make the distance.
Yeah, right. So I heard you talking before about your goals to set up a vehicle that doesn't look like this, but is purely solar powered.
Yes, so this is very much a racing car. It's designed specifically to go fast and do that as efficiently as possible.
Yeah. What is the efficiency?
The motor is 98.6% efficient at its peak. The motor controller is up around the 98-99% efficiency. So
really efficient.
Yeah, efficiency is the name of our game really, since we have 1,200 watts to deal with in total, and every little bit counts to get that little bit faster and that little bit more efficient. As I said, it's very much a racing vehicle. We get questions, is it a boat, is it a plane, does it fly? Which is understandable. It doesn't look much like a normal car. We think it would float, we just haven't tried it yet. Not game. So our goal for the future is that, we want to make a car that people look at and think that's clearly a car, but it's still a highly efficient electric vehicle with solar panels.
Yeah.
And a large part of that is figuring out what we deem, where is it a solar car versus a solar assisted electric car, and what sort of space you need to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But the goal is, road registered, 2 seats, 4 wheels, a little bit of space for luggage and that sort of thing.
Cool. Well, great. Thanks very much for your time.
My pleasure.
Hi Ben, how are you?
Mila!
Hey!
Hello.
What are you doing here? Like, apart from video,
go on track just in a moment. So if you want to grab any footage, that'd be awesome.
So what is this beast?
This beast, so we're RMIT Electric Racing. We're a student team from RMIT University.
Yep.
So essentially we're a club, and we're lucky enough to get funding to build this thing. So every year we build a new car.
Yep.
So it's an international competition, so it's Formula SAE.
Okay.
And this is our electric vehicle. We also have a combustion vehicle at RMIT. And essentially we have engineers, business guys, pretty much people from all across the university studying different subjects, so different degrees, and we come together to build this awesome car. Yeah, cool. That's great.
What's some of the crazy highlights of this vehicle?
Crazy highlights. I mean, look how much carbon fibre we've got. So we've got a full carbon fibre monocoque, we've got a carbon fibre aerodynamics package, carbon fibre suspension A-arms.
How heavy is it, do you think?
It's just under 20 kilograms.
Yeah, right. So we could basically lift it and take it if we wanted to.
So it is quite light.
And is it for endurance, or what's the point of SAE?
Competition, it's a 4-day competition, first dynamic racing events. So you have 4 dynamic events. So you've got an acceleration run, which is a straight line, driving as fast as you can. A skid pan, which is a figure of 8, just driving around in a figure of 8. Autocross, which is about a 1 kilometre racetrack, quickest lap time you can possibly get. And then there's the endurance, which is roughly 22 kilometres, and that's pretty much the make or break event. So so it's a really great competition.
So how quick is it? What's the result?
0 to 100 in about 3 seconds.
That's very quick.
Around the track, it's
insane.
Fast. Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Russell.
Thank you.
So, what is your company name?
Evolution. Yeah.
And what does Evolution do?
So we predominantly supply and install electric vehicle chargers to both domestic and commercial installations.
So is this outside of what the manufacturer would normally provide?
Typically, when someone buys an electric car, be it privately or from a dealer, you'll find that they're supplied with what we call a granny charger, something that charges at say 8 to 10 amps. It might take up to 18 hours to charge the car. So that isn't
like a long time.
18 hours is a long time, right? Charge.
You said it's 8 to 10 amps. That's the main power.
The reason why it's an amp, it allows people to plug into a normal socket. Something like this, like the EO or the Evolution brand at Scion, then that might take as little as 3 hours to charge from scratch. It's to do with the amount of current they're able to supply to the car. These can't be plugged into a normal socket. They need a certified electrician to supply the circuit for them. The first time they charge the first night, they're absolutely horrified because it's taken this long. They've done 100 Ks and it's taken 18 hours to charge it. Oh, yeah, it's huge. But remember, it's not all about charging from 0 to maximum. It's actually about adding the amount of range to the car that you've just used.
Consumed.
My use case is, as a private individual, is I might do 15, 20 Ks going to the shops or going to the office or what have you, and then coming back again, and then I might be able to charge at work, and I might be able to charge at home, and I just give it a, and with the way we measure these is how many kilometres of range you're adding to the car per hour connected. For the EO box, and you're adding about 30 to 40 Ks of range per hour connected. It's not like I'm going on a road trip, I'm not travelling.
Just like keeping topped up,
There's actually a different solution for that.
DC fast chargers, supercharging network, and all that kind of thing for the road trip, which is what that.
So what does one of these cost?
We're looking at a portable unit down here, which will halve the time to charge a car, which is about $500. Far cheaper than the original equipment. I think Mitsubishi are charging $1,500 for a charger or similar. So there's typically two types, Type 1 and Type 2. Type 1 is all the Japanese vehicles, Mitsubishi and Nissan.
These connectors we're talking about?
Yeah, connectors, yeah. And then the Euro standard, which is Meningpiece, Type 2. All cars coming to Australia will have that socket on them.
Cool. Very interesting. Thanks for your time, Russell.
No, thank you very much indeed. Appreciate your time. Yes, excellent.
Are you still
anticipating any sort of increased cost going to a mechanic because
no?
it's an electric
The
vehicle?
first 3 services are free.
Yep.
So the first one's at $1,500, of course, on the all ready car.
Yep.
And then every 25,000 clicks after that to keep your warranty, basically.
So it's basically like a fleet of vehicles used by different commercial entities, and they all park their vehicles in one place.
Cool, so this is one of your premium bikes?
Yep. So this is one of the Focus dual suspension Jam Squared, it's called. Yep. Basically, this is a dual suspension mountain bike that you can do all mountain, cross country, all downhill work with. And instead of using the chairlift to get back to the top or needing 3 mates and a shuttle, you turn it around and you ride it back up the hill. With the standard battery in the bike, off-road you're going to see 20 to 30 kilometre range.
This setback?
This full price on this is $7,000, and the big reason for the cost isn't the electrics. Take the electrics off, you've got a $4,000 or $5,000 push bike underneath it. And that's something that is really important and crucial when you're buying an electric bike. Is if the bike doesn't suit you or the bike is cheap, doesn't matter how good the electrics are, it's a cheap bike. You wouldn't buy a Kmart chain store bike and throw a motor on it and expect it to become a $2,000 bike just because it owes you $2,000. Actually, finding a bike that suits the customer, and as technology moves and changes, if you come in and you want a dual suspension bike, and we've got this year's best product from 3 different suppliers, and you don't like this, you want shorter travel, I can put you onto a different product and I can order it in. There's mower shops that survive purely on warranty work. In the bike industry, if I have to replace this motor and spend 3 hours in the workshop, it's all on me. And that's part of what you're paying for. With some brands, we actually hold stock for spares and for crash damage, just in case. EMTBs are really changing the sports side of things this year. All the main brands are giving a push into it. More traditional bikes do is that they can replace your car, they can replace your public transport, and you're then completely in control about your commute times. I was able to commute by bike in an hour and a half from Moorpark to Abbotsford each way. By train was an hour to an hour and 45 minutes, depending on what train it was and if it was close to one time. By car, 45 minutes on a good day. It's not uncommon for us to now see electric bikes coming back to the shop with 5,000 to 10,000 kilometres on the clock. Now, there's not many push bikes apart from real dedicated cyclists that do anywhere near that kind of thing. My own electric Gazelle is now 4 years old, has done 9,000 kilometres and is still on its first battery, 95% capacity.
Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
No problem.
Is this app controlled Tesla?
got type charging going on your backpack. So as we go for autumn, self-driving vehicles, they're going to be a lot safer than humans. Like humans are the cause of the accident. Beautiful, you know.
I've had too much to drink. Can you drive?
In fact, we'll go electric, and we can charge up at home from solar. It's like a mobile phone. I plug in of a night, I get up in the day, and I drive off. In fact, the only time I have anxiety is my wife takes it and I go drive her car, and she runs it on empty.
Well,
and then I'll go, I'm running late. I've got to find a service station. I've got to queue up. I've got to go a hose with this highly flammable stuff. I've got to go in and pay money.
When your off-peak times are, and you don't have to worry about going out to the car and plugging it in at 11 p.m.
Yeah.
You can just plug it in when you get home, and it won't start charging until.
So it knows when your best tariffs are.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So when you plug it in.
So in turn, what does that do? It just reduces your overall cost for charging your vehicle.
Yeah. So instead of paying 30 cents a kilowatt hour, I'm paying 13.
Yeah.
So clearly, that's less than half.
Cool.
Charging costs.
By the way.
Anne.
I'm David.
Hi.
And Daryl. Just head out and see where we can get to and where we can come back from.
I love the exhaust though. Traffic have been pretty rough.
So what's your favourite thing about the Tesla? Aside from being electric.
Everything. It is a 5-seater family car, so often have the child seat in here for our grandson. So it's taxed as a luxury car. We pay luxury car tax on it.
That's just purely based on price, isn't it?
It's based on price. So the fact that you're driving a low emission car is irrelevant. Great standstill. And while we're on this little bit of road, I'll show you this other one then. There you go. Following the traffic. There's the speed limit and auto drive function again. It is an assistant though. You are the driver. You are in control, and if you don't touch the steering wheel now and then, it'll slow right down, stop and put the hazard lights on. Yep. So this is power usage over the last 50 kilometres.
So this dip below, that's below your average, is it?
Yeah, yes. You'll apply the brakes if that's just bear with me. Base model, so it doesn't do all that, right? How's that?
That's enough.
Shit, Jesus.
And see how then it's you can buy them online, and you get the price online. They start. I haven't looked at it lately. Start probably around base model with no accessory, around 120 grand on road registered. And if you really want all bells, all whistles, you're probably not going to get much change out of 300. But I believe that is.
But it is like, look at it. It's a super premium car.
And you're comparing it to top
and
of
it's
the
electric.
range Mercedes, BMWs at in luxury, and when it comes to performance, you're up there with the top end Porsche 2-door sports cars.
What would make you guys consider switching over to an EV, assuming you don't have an EV at the moment?
Well, I intend to as soon as the Tesla 3 is in. When they release the Tesla 3 here,
yep,
I'm going to buy one.
Okay.
It's
So what's the big deal with the Tesla 3 price point? What sort of price are they expecting?
About 50
grand.
Australian.
Yeah. Cool.
Right. No, handbrake.
Because
weird.
it's smart navigators. Well, I've pushed park, and
now I'm stopped.
Obviously I've stopped, so I'll put the handbrake on, and when it gets out, goes well. I'll keep that. But there's so many things like that when I get into an ordinary car now.
So it's so
really primitive. I go,
smart.
the other thing you can do is from your phone, you can turn it on and off, the air conditioning. So yeah.
There's nothing.
So that's it. I've been to the EV Expo today, and what a blast. I mean, EVs are obviously the future. They definitely are. And you can tell by the crowd behind me, there's just no stopping these guys. Obviously the price points and whatnot are going to be coming down as well. And so, yeah, I think I'm going to get an EV. But which one, I'm not sure just yet. I'll have to do a few more test drives and see how I go. But a Tesla is definitely one to get.